recipe now that's perfect for Sunday lunch. It's a whole roasted chicken in a Mediterranean style, and we're going to sprinkle lots of nice vegetables around the tray, and it's all done in that one tray, which is perfect. It's absolutely sumptuous, and it's perfect for you and the family to share on a Sunday. So the most important part of the whole dish is this lovely chicken that I've got. It's a big, fat, organic, free-range chicken. And what I've done is I've rubbed some salt all over that chicken this morning about half an hour ago. And what that does is that helps all the juices start flowing, and it's going to give us a wonderful crisp skin. So I'm just going to put that under the tap and wash all that excess salt off. And just give it a little wash inside. And we'll bring it back to our chopping board. And what I want to do is, using my paper towel, I'm going to dry it very, very well. Now, if there's any moisture left on that bird at all, you're going to find that it won't crispen up. And that includes inside. I'm going to put the paper towel inside and clean it up as much as possible. So I've got a lovely big tray here that we're going to put our chicken on, and the beauty of this dish is that everything is on the one tray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a nice liberal amount of olive oil. That's going to stop everything from sticking to the bottom of the tray. So just make sure that's completely covered. Now the vegetables are going to sit underneath the chicken, and that's going to form a beautiful base for that chicken. So I'll start off with my lovely carrots. Now I've just peeled those and cut them into nice batons. Next thing that we're using are our shallots. Now I've got lovely banana shallots here today, which are slightly longer than your normal shallot. I've also got some lovely little baby plum tomatoes. Basically, they're not quite a cherry tomato, and they're going to have that lovely sweetness as well. It'll complement the shallots fantastically. Little new potatoes. Now the beauty of this is we don't have to do anything with them. Just make sure they're nice and clean, that they're nicely washed, and we're going to sprinkle them out evenly across the tray. Now the next bit, and this is where the Mediterranean flavours are really coming in, is I've got some olives. Now black olives are a little bit milder than your green olives, and that's because they're not fermented for as long as the green ones. So that's the base of my tray. What I want to do is just make sure that's evenly spread out, and we're going to give that a few different seasonings now. So I want to get my lovely fresh herbs, and these are really strong herbs, and they're going to stand up to the cooking time of the chicken really, really well. I've got fresh rosemary, I've got fresh thyme, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that into about 3 pieces each one, and we're going to distribute that evenly around the tray. So the next thing that we need to do is make a wonderful pungent spice mix for this chicken. What I'm going to use are some lovely fresh thyme leaves. I've just plucked the leaves straight off the thyme. So we're going to mix this all up in one bowl. I've got some nice fresh paprika, lovely fresh cumin, a little bit of pepper, some nice salt, and the salt, what we're going to do is we're going to put all this mixture all the way inside the chicken, and it's going to perfume it from all the way in the inside. So we just mix that up, and you can see that's a lovely little rub. And now our chicken is nice and dry, as I said earlier. So just give it a little sprinkle all over like that. And what I'll do is just using your hand, make sure your hand is nice and clean. I'm just going to rub that in. Don't be scared to get right into all those little nooks and crannies. And I've kept half of my mix, and now comes the little tricky part. You need to go down to the back of your chicken and just make a little hole for yourself there, and getting a good handful of your spice, just get your hand as far in there as you can and really rub it all around, and you can really see that that chicken full of flavour already. We're ready to roast it now. So we're just going to transfer it to the middle of our tray. So now I have my garlic, and this is the last thing that we're going to do before it goes into the oven. I'll just put the garlic there beside it. And the same place that we had those spices in, we're going to just get that garlic and push it right inside the chicken. I'm also going to stuff a a couple of tomatoes, an olive, and a few of the carrots. So one very important thing is that we get a nice sprinkling of olive oil. I've got my oven at 175 degrees. We'll just slide it in. So when that's cooking, it's very, very important that every 15 or 20 minutes we come back with our spoon and we're just going to baste those juices over it, and that's going to keep it wonderful and juicy, and it's going to be a great, great chicken. So as you can see, that chicken's been in there for about 20 minutes now. And what I want to do is just loosen up all those vegetables, and I'm going to tilt the tray up at a slight angle, and down in that corner I'm going to get all those incredible chicken juices. So what I'll do is I'll just baste that over the top, and I'll do that maybe 2 or 3 times, and what that helps do is keep the chicken wonderful and moist. So I can see that all those vegetables are coming along nicely. We'll have to baste that maybe 2 times as it's in the oven, once every 20 minutes. I'll just pop it back in. So that chicken's been in there for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now what we have to do is we're going to baste it one last time. And I can see those juices down there. They've really caramelized up, and they are going to be absolutely perfect to make my sauce with, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to transfer the chicken and the vegetables to a large platter, and then I'll use those beautiful caramelized juices to make a quick sauce with. So what I've got here is the beautiful tray with all those fantastic juices. I've transferred my chicken onto my platter with my wonderful vegetables. So the first thing I want to do is all that grease, we're just going to pour that into the sink and get rid of all those horrible fatty pieces. Now what we're left with, I'm going to turn the heat on, a nice high heat, and all we're left with is beautiful flavours in there that are really going to come up very nicely whenever I deglaze that with my balsamic vinegar and my white wine. See, all those beautiful caramelized little pieces are starting to come off the pan. I'm going to help that with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and using something with a nice flat edge on it, we're just going to scrape up all those really nice crispy bundles of little flavour. I'm also going to add a small amount of white wine. I'm also going to add a beautiful little secret ingredient, is the half of the tomatoes that I had in with the chicken. Those tomatoes are really going to come to life in that sauce. So we keep on scraping off. We're going to finish it off with a nice piece of brown chicken stock. We're going to let that reduce for a further 1 minute, and it should form a really fantastic, nice gravy for the chicken.